This video is going to walk you through how to create a spreadsheet and use it to collect data as you're recording your temperatures and things for this weather project. And I'll also show you how to create a chart that will display your information clearly for you to see so you can predict patterns and things like that. The first thing I'll need you to do, open Excel on your computers, and we're going to place headings into the top row here. So in A1, I want you to type the word day. In B1, I want you to type high temperature. You're going to have to click out of the cell for B1 and then click into C1 and type in low temperature. Click out of C1, click into D1 and type in conditions. Conditions will be things like rainy, sunny, cloudy, etc. Okay? If we notice, after you get done typing these, that they do not all display properly here, and that's because the width of our cell is not wide enough. To change the width, the easiest thing to do is to come up into where all the letters are across the top for the columns, and when you get the double arrow, click and hold, and then you can drag left or right to either shrink or to grow the cell. And so I want you to drag your cell width until all of your words are clearly seen. Okay, I'm going to pause it for a second. You pause the video and go ahead and do this part, and then when you're ready, restart the video back up and we'll continue from this part right here. Okay, well, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to fill your day column up with numbers. And you could take the time and just put a 1 in the first one and set 2, 3, 4, etc. But I'm going to show you a shortcut for this. If I just click into the A2 column here and I put a 1 for day 1, with the column still selected, if I get to the bottom right hand corner, my cursor changes to a little plus sign. If I can left click and hold and drag down as far as we need to, I'm just going to go to row 25 for here, but this is an example. It will fill them all with a 1. But with it still selected like this, right next to it, I've got a little drop down option for fill, and I can choose to fill a series. And if I say fill series, you notice it will change all of your numbers from 1 straight down to complete your series. So I'm going to give you a chance to do that next. Pause the video right now, and when you are done with that, let's restart the video again. Alright, we should now be ready to create a chart for the information that you are going to put into your spreadsheet. You can see on mine already I've added some numbers just to show you as an example what it's going to look like when we're done. You can do this if you'd like to, or you can just leave them blank and add a couple, whatever, but it should work out for you either way. Okay, so I'm going to click and select all from column B of the high temperature options that I'm going to need up to however many days I'm doing. And then I'm going to go to the insert option at the top, and I'm going to insert a bar graph, and I'm going to make it a vertical bar graph, the very first option. And it's going to show here what my chart looks like. It's taking the numbers that are already in there and it's adding them to my chart. If I would, for instance, add 45 here and get out of that cell, it has now added another one for day 9 to show that it's 45 degrees. Okay, we're going to change some of the way this chart looks so that it's more appealing. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to look at the title of the chart. Right now it's just chart title. If I double click and select, click and drag across to select all the text, I'm going to change this to high temperature so that it matches what my column heading is. I want you to do that. Pause the video for right now, and when you are ready to resume, go ahead and start the video again. Okay, hopefully your chart looks something like this. You have high temperature, You notice on our vertical axis that is our temperatures, and on the horizontal axis are our days, so it's trying to give us all our information. But it'd be nice to be able to fill in more information, so if someone is just browsing or looking quickly at this, they would know what each one of your axes means. So we're going to add some more detail to your chart. If your chart is not selected, I need you to click on it to select it. And when you click on it, you're going to see there are chart tools that come up, and you have a design and a format. Within the design one, there's an add chart element. If I click on that and I change axes titles and I say primary horizontal and I click on it, it has now added a horizontal one here. And I can select all of the text that's in that box and I can type in day, so now it knows that that stands for the day. To go along the same pattern, I go back to add elements, axis title, primary vertical, and now this shows up here. This one's a little trickier, you have to drag up, but I can put temperature in here so that now I have it titled on both sides. Okay. I'm going to add one more thing on here, and if I click down and I go to data labels and I want to say, like on the outside end, if you notice when I select that, now all of my every day it's going to put the actual number on there, so it's easy for me to see exactly what each temperature was every day. Okay. The last thing that I'm going to just show you quickly is if you would like to change the way it looks, if you hover across the different options here, it will show you different ways that you can display your data. This is totally up to you on whether you change it to something else that you like, but you can do that. And you also have an option to change the colors. For instance, this is high temperature, so maybe I would make it a red so it seems like a warmer temperature. And I've now completed my high temperature chart. I'm going to pause the video again to let you set up your chart the way you want to. I do advise you put the vertical and the horizontal axis in. The rest of them are up to you. Alright, now that you've completed your first chart for high temperatures, with the chart selected, I can click and drag and I can move it around wherever I need to on the page so it makes the most sense. You will also see once I moved it, I have some options here, and these are the same options as I have on the side over here. So if I wanted to add something now, I could add the plus and check which ones I want. It depends on whether that appears or not when you're doing your chart. Okay? I'm now going to add a second chart for the low temperatures. So we're going to go through the same process. The first thing I need to do is click and drag down in the C column to select all the possible dates that I'm going to do, or days that I'm going to do. And then I'm going to go to insert again, but this time I'm going to do a bar chart, but I want to do a horizontal bar chart. So I'm going to go to two-dimensional horizontal bar chart, and I want to slide it over a little bit so that you can see how it looks compared to the rest. Actually, I'm going to put it down here and I'll scroll down. I'm going to slide it to the side here. Let me undo what I just did. I'm going to click off it, and now I'm going to click on it again so I can drag it because I want you to see this. If we look on the side here, since it's a horizontal graph, it doesn't have enough space to put all of our lines or all of our days. So I'm just going to click and drag the bottom of the chart, and if I drag it out, I now have each day represented. So you can do that quickly. Then I want you to go through the same process that you did before, changing the chart title, adding your axes, and if you want, adding the numbers and changing the color. After you're completely done with this, make sure that you save it, preferably to your OneDrive, and name it so it's relevant and so you know what you're looking for. And then as you go in and continue to add numbers to your charts, you're going to see your chart grow and to include all the information that you've done.